Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be reviewing The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman today. I'm really excited to talk about this one, so let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know me that well, Neil Gaiman is one of my favourite authors. He's a big inspiration for my writing. I've read most of his stuff. I've worked my way through the Neil Gaiman reader here, which is fairly chunky. And I really enjoy his novels, especially American Gods, which I think is a masterpiece. So Neil's done some really big things, including Good Omens, which got turned into a TV show. He wrote that with Terry Pratchett. American Gods got turned into another TV show. This book, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, has been turned into a theatre production. Coraline was turned into a film. He's done all kinds of things, and he's one of our greatest living storytellers. He is very interested in kind of mythos, ancient mythologies, the darker areas of life, blending religion and fiction. And a lot of those are present in this book, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which, as I said in a previous video, is kind of a cosy fantasy with end of the world kind of Cthulhu-ish creatures coming into it. And I don't know if that was the most accurate description, but I'll try and elaborate more during this video. So the version I have here was illustrated by Elsie Hurst, and it's absolutely beautiful. I will just show you the inside. So not only does it have amazing illustrations like that, but a lot of the pages are black with the writing going over in white. So that's really nice to read. The first thing I'll say about this is I kind of had this feeling like I never knew what I was going to get on the next page because of the artwork. So if you can get this version, I highly recommend it. It's just a really beautiful book. I'll try not to do too many spoilers. So the story is about a man who's attending his father's funeral, and he wanders to an old farmhouse where he grew up, and he's not quite sure why he wanders there, but he's thinking about a girl he used to play with called Letty, and she had a pond in her farmhouse which she called the Ocean, hence the title of the book, The Ocean at the End of the Lane. And he starts reminiscing, and we go into his memories and we relive an event that happened in his childhood that completely changed him. So it's kind of hard to summarise this without giving too much away, but not all is well in the boy's life. He has a nice house, but his parents don't always get on. His father, in particular, he has trouble getting on with. He doesn't get on with his sister. The boy is quite shy and retiring and bookish and not at all like his father. He has a pet kitten that he loves, but something happens to the kitten because they have a guest staying, and this guest kickstarts everything. One day they find that the guest is dead, and this kickstarts a chain of events that you really can't see coming. It's quite surprising what happens in this novel. And really the whole novel takes place between the boy's house, the fields surrounding them, and Letty's house. And that's why I classify it as a cosy fantasy, especially the scenes in Letty's house where you get all this wonderful description of the amazing food they make and this very wholesome farm life that just sounds so inviting to me, and also to the boy as well. He really, you get the impression, wants to live at Letty's house, not his own house. And I think a lot of people could relate to that, going around a friend's house and wanting to live there instead of your own house. This will be a bit of a spoiler here, so if you don't want to hear any more about the plot, jump ahead and I'll put a chapter in so you don't get it spoiled for you. Letty's family are kind of not normal. Her and her mother and her grandmother have powers to do things, and they actually, I think, are meant to be like the fates from ancient Greece. There's a lot of talk of them sewing things and changing time around and that kind of thing, and banishing these evil creatures that are creeping into the world. So Letty takes the boy and they go to get rid of one of these evil creatures, but things go wrong and the boy ends up bringing back a bit of the creature with him to his home, and this manifests into a brilliant villain, a young beautiful woman called Ursula Monckton, who proceeds to infiltrate the family, make sure the boy can't leave the house, and do everything she can to win over the boy's father. And it's kind of a tense, trapped horror at that point where you're wondering how the boy can get out of the house. So like with a lot of Neil's stuff, you've got some lovely moments, you've got some really strange moments, you've got some dark moments, and you've got this nice mythos running through everything. It's like in horror films when you get the moment where the character is starting to move into another world and things are becoming strange and some things just aren't quite right. All of the book has that kind of feel to it, and there's a lot of symbolism that I would love to delve deeper into and kind of work out what everything means here. But if that sounds good to you, you will definitely enjoy this book. So while it is, I think, a cosy fantasy at its heart, there is some darkness in it. So if you don't like horror stuff, I'd stay away from this one. But otherwise, I think if you like magical realism, if you like contemporary fantasy, if you like mythology brought into the modern day, or if you like Neil Gaiman's other works, I think this is one of his strongest books. I really enjoyed this, and I will definitely see the theatre production. I would give it a 9 out of 10. And I gave my last book a 9 out of 10 as well. I've been really lucky in the books I've been reading. I'm not going to give every book I read 9 out of 10, I promise you, but I've just had 2 really good ones. Let me know in the comments if you've read this book, what you thought of it, if you've seen the theatre production, if you'd recommend it. And thank you for watching. Please do hit like and subscribe because it helps grow the channel, and I will see you next time.